common conversation that I have with clients is when they are feeling kind of out of balance, personally and professionally. And they're kind of curious how they can use their GTD practice that can support them to get back into balance and to have that alignment with their roles and responsibilities. And so one of the things that I learned from David many years ago was that balance cannot necessarily mean 50-50. I sometimes am an incredibly literal person. And anytime anybody brought up work-life balance, I always thought it was 50-50. And David said, no, for some people it could be 90-10, and that's balance for them. And that was such a paradigm shift for me in terms of that conversation for me personally, where I thought, I was so relieved that it didn't necessarily have to be, everything didn't have to be 50-50 in my relationships, with certain roles and responsibilities, raising my child, that it was going to ebb and flow. And so one of the things that I teach clients is that in their weekly review and in their area of focus and responsibilities review, that's a wonderful opportunity to just create some space and take a look at their lives, personally and professionally, and see what might be on course, off course. I do particularly an area of focus and responsibility review at the beginning of every month. And that's a wonderful opportunity for me to see my life over the course of a month and what might be on course, off course. And from that, I might create actions and projects to get it back in that balance place that I defined as balanced. In my weekly review, I also do that to a certain extent, particularly when I look at the upcoming calendar. How am I with my work-life balance? Again, how I defined it. How am I with my self-care? Are there areas in my life that I'd like to put more time, intention, and energy into, or maybe back off some of that? And that's the recalibrating and renegotiating that happens all the time in my weekly review and in my area of focus review. And when my clients get their GTD practice in place, they also kind of report back in our calls that they have found that the weekly review and area of focus review particularly really helps that course correction, because they've created that space and able to kind of look at parts of their lives and to see, wow, am I a little out of whack? Or maybe I'm good to go here and I am imbalanced. The other thing I thought was so fascinating is I had a client one time who didn't necessarily use that terminology, work-life balance. He used the word, am I in harmony? And when he would do his weekly reviews, he was looking at harmony. Am I in harmony with my roles and responsibilities? So for me, again, balance doesn't necessarily mean 50-50. So how do you define that?